We welcome you to the 2024 Maroon and White game from Kyle Field. This is the Texas A&M Aggies' first one under the direction of their new head coach, Mike Elko. And up in the broadcast booth, we're glad you've joined us. I'm Will Johnson with a former All-American for the Aggies, Dave Elmendorf, and a former quarterback for the Aggies, Stephen McGee. And this will essentially be your only game day look at A&M until they open the season on August 31st against Notre Dame. So, guys, I'll start with Dave. What are we looking forward to this afternoon?
Well, I'm looking forward to a lot. I mean, a new head coaching staff, or a new coaching staff, a lot of new players, new faces with the new rules in college athletics, and just different schemes. There's just going to be a lot to look at today and see what the Elko regime is going to bring to Aggie football.
And Steve, what do you look forward to with this 2024 Maroon and White game?
Yeah, I think with a lot of Aggies out there, I'm excited to see the effect of the Mike Elko coaching staff, and then obviously a lot of new faces on both these sidelines that have been added through the portal, and guys trying to earn a role. And it's going to come down to who can execute today and do assignment and alignment sound and build trust with this coaching staff.
We get an Ethan Mikulski kickoff into the hands of Le'Veon Moss, and the Maroon team will start with the ball. Fair catch, so they will start at their own 25-yard line. So the Maroon with the ball. The Maroon team captain is Trey Zune, and he will start at left tackle for the Maroon. The White team captain is the linebacker Tarian York, and those are the two that selected these teams for this afternoon. It'll be Jalen Henderson to start things off as the quarterback for the Maroon team. He and Marcel Reed, the two quarterbacks for the Maroon team, and Le'Veon Moss back there in the backfield with him. Moss will get the first carry of the game, and he has run out of bounds after a solid gain near the first down sticks.
Yeah, sweep left, around that left side. Was able to get outside, not good containment by that White defense, and he's going to pick up 8.
Javon Thomas ran him out of bounds. 2nd and 2 for Jalen Henderson and the Maroon offense. Henderson was thrust into action due to injuries to Connor Wigman and Max Johnson last year. And the left-hander will get rid of this one to Theo Mellon-Orstrom, the tight end. And he's got it out to the 40-yard line and a first down for the Maroon team.
Yeah, Jalen Henderson's a guy that earned a lot of stripes last year, not just with his teammates, but with Aggie fans. He stepped into a difficult situation. Started the year 2 plays away, probably didn't get many reps, and then all of a sudden he's the starting quarterback and completed a lot of passes. But I think when you look at what they're asking them to do today, be incredibly efficient, aggressively take what the defense gives you and get the ball out of your hands quickly.
Mark Nabu is the Maroon center. With Trey Zune drafting this Maroon team, a lot of the starting offensive line from last year up there with Trey Zune, and Le'Veon Moss brought down by Tarian York, the captain of the White team, and he was fantastic as a freshman a season ago.
Just a little counter play back to the right side, and picks up about 4.
York, a season ago, he led all SEC freshmen in tackles for loss. He was an ESPN freshman All-American. He was on the SEC's all-freshman team. Little pressure on Henderson. Shamar Stewart is in there. And so was Marcus Ratcliffe from the secondary. Credited with a sack. That's a loss of 4, and it's 3rd and 10.
This is a big down and distance for quarterbacks. It's 3rd and long. Expect defenses to pressure the quarterback, and coaches want to see how these guys react. Can you, again, aggressively take what the defense gives you, but not turn the football over, especially when you're backed up on your own 40?
Can the Maroon team move the chains? Henderson's got a roll left. And the left-hander has pressure again. He is brought down. And that's another sack
there, Dave. That makes you happy over here as the All-American defensive back.
As a DB, I'm saying, hey, he's got nowhere to throw the ball. This is great. And I really don't have a dog in this fight. They're both Aggie teams, so the White defense doing a great job there of eliminating his options and getting the sack and forcing the punt.
Pressure came from the grad transfer from Wisconsin, Rodis Johnson, who played 37 games in his career with the Badgers. So punted away. Punt was fielded by Cyrus Allen.
And it looks like they're not going to return kicks today. Is that because the kickoff wasn't returned? That punt was not returned.
That could be the case.
I think that's probably one of the rules that they're not going to, and maybe they'll do that later on. But these first two kicks have not been returned, even though they could have been.
So the quarterback with the White team, Connor Wigman. He was the starter a year ago, but a foot injury cost him most of the season. In the backfield with him is the sophomore Reuben Owens. Fake the handoff, and they're going downfield right away. Pass is complete. That's over the middle. That's to Cyrus Allen, the speedy Louisiana Tech transfer.
Well, that ought to make Aggie fans smile. Of course, Connor Wigman, a very talented signal caller, going into his third year, but he's only 20 years old, Dave, and he only has 9 starts, but he's a guy with so much upside, and you see it on that play, the accuracy.
Exactly.
He anticipates. He's an aggressive decision maker.
Yeah, it's just a little skinny post, and he dropped it right in perfectly, and this is a sweep left.
Owens has room, and he tight ropes the sideline to get inside the 30-yard line. The White team with a mounted drive, their first possession.
They're in field goal position already at the 27-yard line.
Reuben Owens is another guy that I'm excited to see in year 2. Obviously an uber talented guy out of high school, but continuing to develop. And oftentimes the development of a running back means they're getting better when the ball's not in their hands, being a reliable pass blocker.
Wigman in the shotgun with Owens next to him. Wigman's center is T.J. Shanahan. Looking downfield, rolling right. Looked like good coverage there, so he just got rid of it at the feet of an intended receiver to avoid the intentional grounding.
Yeah, and since the quarterbacks are not live today, all the defense has to do is touch them to avoid injury to the quarterbacks, and so Connor wisely just threw this into the dirt, and we'll come back on 2nd and 10.
It's one of the best strengths of Connor is he doesn't take sacks. He keeps his team in front of the chains, and there's an example of it there.
So he just got rid of the ball. He ditched it and lives to play another down. Waiting on the shotgun snap from T.J. Shanahan. The guards for the White team right now, Armaj Reed-Adams and Colton Thomason. Swing it out to the right side. Ooh. Pursuit there and brought down at the 25-yard line. Micah Tease on the catch. Tease had a really good Maroon and White game a year ago.
And the Maroon defense got there quickly.
It's one of the challenges of offenses today is you got to cover all 53 1/3 yards of the field, and these defensive backs are forced on these screen plays to get downhill quick and make tackles in space.
3rd and long. 3rd and 8. Trying to keep a good first drive alive.
Oh.
That's batted down. And it'll have to be a field goal attempt for the White team. 4th down.
And this one's going to come from about 43 yards, well, 42 and a half.
It was Albert Regis who got the bat down there. Regis has blocked some field goals in his past at A&M. Swats that pass down. Ethan Mikulski tries the 42-yard field goal from the right hash. Does he put the White team on the board?
He did.
Yes, he does. 3-0. The White team leads. 9:46 to go first quarter. As Kyle Field, as the Maroon embarks on their second drive, this time with Marcel Reed as the quarterback. He's got pressure immediately, but he's going to let one go up top. Trying to come back to it was Jade Walker. He couldn't come up with it.
But there's a flag down on the play. I don't know if they're going to call interference. Yep, I think they just called interference.
So downfield, 15 yards on the pass interference. It'll put the Maroon team at the 40-yard line. So some weather in the College Station area today. Most of it hits tonight, but playing with some rain here at Kyle Field at the moment. Marcel Reed, the quarterback, he entered the Texas Bowl against Oklahoma State right away last year after an immediate injury to Jalen Henderson. He threw for 361 yards in that game. This is a give to Le'Veon Moss, and the gain is minimal.
Yeah, Marcel Reed is another young quarterback that flashed a lot. Obviously, the athleticism is what pops out, and he's such a dynamic threat, and defensive coordinators would have a nightmare trying to slow him up, keep him contained in the pocket. But a guy that showed a lot, both with his legs and then the ability to obviously put yards up in the air as well.
Yeah, he can really run. I mean, he showed that in the Texas Bowl. He can really run.
Yeah, not just the 361 passing. He did have a rushing TD in that game. Trying to find some room and getting another minimal game. That is E.J. Smith, the Stanford transfer and the son of the Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith.
Yeah. Pretty good lineage there.
Third and 6 if the Maroon team is going to keep this drive alive. Reed wants to throw. Now he takes off and runs, but he won't get there.
It's a good job there by the defense. We talked about trying to keep him bottled up in the pocket, and they brought pressure there. Single high man coverage on the backside, but brought both linebackers, and the result was they kept him in the pocket and got the sack and got the punt. It's a good job by both these defenses.
Well, and good coverage, too. I mean, yep. Had to pull it down, and when all you have to do is touch them, it's really hard to run for 6 as a quarterback.
This is true.
Scooby Williams credited with that last tackle. Williams, a Florida transfer. His time in Gainesville, he had 53 tackles. That was last year. 4 of them for lost yardage. Williams, a junior transfer, played with the Gators last year. He'll see his old team this year. A&M's conference openers on September 14th in Gainesville in the Swamp at Florida. So the white team will come out and try to add to their lead. Drove down. Got a field goal the first time. Connor Wigman back to work this time. The running back with him in the backfield is Amari Daniels. Daniels, 532 yards last year, 6 touchdowns. He went for over 5 per carry. And Daniels will get the nod here, but immediately brought down in the backfield. And that's by Nick Scorton, the Purdue transfer. Led the Big Ten in sacks last year with 10 of them. He was second team all Big Ten.
And he was the first pick of the Maroon captain, wasn't he?
Yeah, I love the way the draft went for this game. Trey Zune picked for the Maroon team. He was the captain. His first pick was Nick Scorton. And Mike Elpico believes that that's because Trey Zune didn't want to block Nick Scorton.
Good reason.
Yeah. Hard hit. That broke up the pass. Damian Sanford with a big hit. The linebacker, he played in every game last year. Just broke up a pass with a big hit there.
Yeah, it was just a stop route, a relatively short pass, and delivered perfectly, but couldn't hold on to it with that vicious hit.
3rd and long. Behind the chains, 3rd and 11.
Oh.
Tried to thread the needle, tried to get it to Wesley Watson, pass incomplete. Donovan Saunders, the Cal Poly transfer, on the coverage.
Yeah, let's see what the flag is in the secondary. I mean, in the backfield.
It'll be a holding.
You think that's what it is?
Twist up front. That's another thing that Mike Elko does is such a great job as a defensive coordinator. He's not just going to line up and rush 4 straight ahead. He's going to do all the twists in the games, and you could see on that play how difficult it is for an offensive line to pass those off, especially when you've got guys that are not working with each other. You got to, second teamers and third teamers mixed in, and it's a challenge in these type of scenarios for sure.
Yeah, that will get better as they get more practice together. But you're right, in the spring game, when they've just got a few practices under their belt, you're right. It's hard.
Punt it away. And the fair catch made by Moose Muhammad. Maroon team with the ball back. Little under 7 minutes left in the first quarter. The Maroon team trailing 3-0. York would want the big defensive lineman in front of him so he could flow freely. Hey, he said he called it. He said Nick Scorton and DJ Hicks, he knew they'd be the first picks of the draft, and they certainly were. Jalen Henderson back to work, and he wants to go up top. Deep ball incomplete. Bryce Anderson in coverage there. So was Javon Thomas.
Trying to hit Moose.
Yeah, trying to
go
go
route.
for Moose.
Look, no surprise here early in this game. Of course, there's wet footballs out there, but it's generally going to be defensive success in these type of spring games. But free safety blitz there on first down. Only Mike Elko could do that in a good on good here, and good defense on the back end as well. I've been really impressed with both sides, Maroon and White's defense.
All we have is a Ethan Mikulski 42-yard field goal in this one.
Ooh.
Brought down immediately, Le'Veon Moss. And that is Scooby Williams on another tackle, the Florida transfer.
He's got some big shoes to fill. We talked about Torian York at the linebacker position, but graduated arguably one of the best linebackers that I've seen in recent memory, and Edrin Cooper, a guy that's big, physical. But Scooby Williams, you look out there and you see a lot of Edrin Cooper in him. He's big, tall, fast linebacker, and you can't play linebacker these days if you're not fast.
Edrin Cooper waiting on the draft on Thursday, potential first rounder. Pressure, trying to run is Henderson. That will be another tackle credited to Scooby Williams. He was around the ball when the whistle was blown. And a lot of third and longs here today, guys.
Yeah, good defense.
Yeah.
Does that, yeah. Scooby Williams, I think that time was the spy for the defense to keep the quarterback honest, and he was able to stop him before he was able to pick up the yardage after he had to pull the ball down and run with it.
Punt will bounce. They're going to have to get everybody out of the way, and it's down at the 32-yard line. Maroon and White game 2024. It's Will Johnson, Dave Elmendorf, and Stephen McGee with you. Later on, Dave and Steve will have a conversation with the A&M Director of Athletics, Trev Alberts. We will also broadcast the popular Legends game for you at halftime. It's a flag football game played by former players here that they have started to do during the Maroon and White game. So we have it all for you.
How many hamstrings do you think they're going to pull in that game, Dave?
A win in that game is just no injuries. They might as well not even keep score.
Yeah, exactly.
Ripped down immediately. Cyrus Allen, the intended receiver, but B.J. Mays right there, the senior transfer out of UAB. He broke up 10 passes last year with the Blazers. Broke one up right there with Cyrus Allen trying to make the grab.
A nice play. It's a quick slant. I mean, that's a hard play to break up because it was quick and well thrown. B.J. Mays gets there and knocks it down, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Handed off Amari Daniel. He's got a little bit of room. Dalton Brooks will bring him down.
You talk about the cornerback position and how important that is for this Aggie defense. You know, the front has been the key the last several years for the defense, and a lot of attention on the cornerback position. You got a lot of new faces in that room this offseason. It's good to see 3 passes here by Connor, all in the money, but all pass breakups by the back end. So they're off to a good start, and it's good to see as this Aggie defense develops that the back end is competing, especially in man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, as an old safety, I can tell you how important that cornerback is.
See what happens on 3rd and 5. Can the White team extend this drive? Wigman pump fakes, and now he has it to Cyrus Allen. He needed the 37 for a first down, and they're marking him just across the 35, maybe the 36. No, they put the ball down on the 35, 2 yards shy of the sticks.
Connor stayed out there. I think he wanted to go for it here on 4th down. Old quarterbacks like it.
Nothing to lose,
They always,
Coach, right?
they always want to go for it, right?
Of course.
But
So
they will punt it away.
Defense still rules. The punt will come from Tyler White. Back to receive it, Moose Muhammad.
Hey, you never want a quarterback that's happy to punt. That's not a good sign.
They all should want to stay on the field, right? Moose Muhammad, the fair catch at his own 15-yard line. So still 3-0. The White leads late. First quarter, we'll take a quick break. Guard is Ashton Funk. Demetrius Crown over the right tackle. And Trey Zune, the captain, is the left tackle. New offensive line coach here in College Station is Adam Cushing, who came with Mike Elko from Duke. And Le'Veon Moss has a 6-yard carry to start the drive.
That was a heck of a reaction by Bryce Anderson, a very talented safety. I'm partial to safety.
Who would have guessed?
But he made the tackle and very quickly for that 5-yard gain, because it was a hole there, and it's great to see him reacting that quickly.
Marcel Reed, another give to Moss. Does he get the first down? Looks like he just got to the sticks, very close. It'll depend on where the knee went down, and they are moving the chains.
A little different here. I think the theme so far in this game has been not being efficient on first down for these offensive. That's what slowed them up. It's put them in predictable passing situations, and that's what makes life really difficult on your quarterback and your offensive line when the D-line can tee off. But a big theme, I think, going in this offseason has been how good these running backs have been, all three.
E.J. Smith in the backfield now with Marcel Reed. Hand it to Smith. Solid gain, just like Dad back in the past.
Yeah, sweep left, and great job by that O-line getting him outside and into the secondary. He's going to pick up 9.5.
Well, as we go along this afternoon, we'll try to get you familiar with this new coaching staff here at Texas A&M. I think it's interesting that 2 of them on the defensive side of the ball, Tony Jared Eddy, who coaches the defensive line, and Jordan Peterson, who coaches the DBs, they are former players of this program at A&M. They both played with Steven.
2 great ones there. We're lucky to have them for sure.
Tony Jared Eddy has been here. He was on staff with Jimbo Fisher. Jordan Peterson comes in from Kansas, where he helped a turnaround of that program.
I really like this call. I'm sure you do too, Stephen. Second and very short. Take a shot deep. It was incomplete, but I like the try.
Very, very much so. It's allows you to be aggressive. That's one of the benefits of getting yards on the early downs. It allows you to take shots, knowing that you're going to hopefully get a yard here.
Hand it off to Smith.
Or
Shamar
not.
Stewart is in the backfield. Rodis Johnson joined Stewart, and so did DJ Hicks. A stuff on 3rd down and 1.
And now it's 4th and 1. And what do you do if you're the Maroon team? You took a shot deep on that 2nd down, and I think they're going to go for it here, even though they're at their own 35-yard line.
Well, that defensive line has a couple of Shamars on it. Stewart made the play there. Shamar Turner sitting out the spring, but you already have seen enough of Shamar Turner to know he's a really good one up front.
Well, Connor Wigman went as far to say he believes Shamar Stewart and Nick Scorton will be first-round picks this year.
And he's seen Scorton plenty. Going to run it. Reed, 4th and 1. He'll get the first down as he gets it out close to midfield before Bryce Anderson brought him down.
That's exactly what he does, right, Dave? You know,
exactly.
You bring that pressure, You're trying to slow up the run. You got man-to-man coverage on the back end, and when the quarterback escapes the pocket, there's no one left because they're all in man-to-man coverage on the back end, and that's where they're especially dangerous.
Yeah, and as an old defender, you just hate quarterbacks that can really run, and like Marcel can.
So time ticking down in the first quarter. The Maroon team trailing 3-0. But a couple of first downs on a drive that started at their own 15-yard line. Nebu, the snap to Reed, and the hand to Moss, and he's up the middle, and he's into white territory, and he takes it all the way down to the 28. Ball is loose. Was Le'Veon Moss down or not? And I believe Theo Melanorska made the cover anyway, so they will have, as the first quarter comes to a close, 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. The Maroon trying to get on the board. Big gain here by Le'Veon Moss. So that will signal the end of the first quarter, and we're back in just a bit.
Special thanks to the Business Club at American Campus Communities for their sponsorship of today's Maroon and White game. Now fans, turn your attention to the southwest corner of the field where our Texas Ford Dealers champion.
You might see improvement in that all-important spot on the field offensively for A&M this season. The Kansas State offense last year ranked 2nd nationally in touchdown percentage from the red zone. 78% of the time they got into the red zone, they finished with a TD. And now Colin Klein, the offensive coordinator for the Aggies, hand it off, trying to get out to the right side, trying to turn it up. Noah Thomas on the carry. 29 catches last year for Noah Thomas.
Yeah, wide receiver reverse. I like it. And he's going to pick up 9.
And it got the Maroon team into the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Love to see guys blocking on the perimeter with great effort, and that was what happened there. And the reason you have success with explosive plays is because the receivers are blocking downfield. You love to see guys that are unselfish.
Fake the handoff to Anthony Denota, and Jade Walker makes the catch right around the 15-yard line.
It's a great throw there by Marcel Reed. Just put it right on his body, kind of on that back hip to protect him from the defender. That's the only place that ball could be. That was really good defense on the back end. But sometimes
they got to him quickly, but there's nothing you can do when they've got the body and the ball right in front of them. You got to go through them, and by then it's too late.
Yep.
Coverage was by Will Lee III, the junior transfer from Kansas State. Talked about Colin Klein, the offensive coordinator, coming in from Kansas State. Will Lee does too in the secondary. Marcel Reed got loose inside the 10, and he got the first down at the 6-yard line.
I think that play there highlights how these young quarterbacks can develop. They brought the nickel Sam linebacker off the edge there in the RPO game, and he saw it late, right? He saw that defensive end crash. He pulled the ball, but didn't see that defender. That ball should have been passed there on the run-pass option. But these are the things that they need to just get more and more reps and comfortable in this system, and those things will become second nature for them.
Yeah, and in the film room, that will be brought up, but he did pick up 10 and a first down.
He can make them right with his legs, can't he?
The Maroon team now 1st and goal from the 6.
Le'Veon Moss. It's tough when you get down around the goal line and guys like Shamar Stewart are there waiting on you in closed space, and Stewart can close it even more. He lays on the turf at the moment. Scooby Williams was in on another tackle. He's had an excellent Maroon and White game so far.
Yes, he has. Good to see him in there.
I think Mike Elko said it best with this offensive line. He's not as focused as much on cohesiveness as he is. I think the way he put it is a lot more strain. He wants guys to feel really uncomfortable, play harder, and block better. This is a great opportunity to show that here.
Stewart gets up and checks out okay, and Le'Veon Moss checks into the end zone and gives the Maroon team a 6-3 lead with the extra point pending.
And that was on the heels of a really good job there by that offensive line.
Yep.
It's not easy when you have flat defenders on the back end, safeties hovering around the box that are unaccounted for, and that was almost a walk-in.
That offensive line, Crownover and Zune, the tackles, Funk and Basantes, the guards, Nebu, the center, and Randy Bond on to attempt the extra point. Bond tried more field goals than anybody in the country last year. He was 26 of 35. 35 attempts, tied for the lead nationally. He knocks home the extra point, and now the Maroon team has taken the lead by a count of 7-3.
And they did it on the ground on that drive, Will. It's good to see this offensive line.
And nice cutback. Just looking at the replay. Nice cutback to get into the end zone for the touchdown. But as you said, that offensive line did a great job. That's when you'd like to be a running back, when you get holes like that.
Yeah, it's good to see those guys respond after the first several drives where they just didn't get much of anything going, and able to generate a drive there on the ground behind that big offensive line.
Told you that Adam Cushing is the offensive line coach for Texas A&M. He was with Mike Elko at Duke. He's a Chicago guy, and he says he coaches with a little Chicago in him, with an edge, with a chip on his shoulder. That's probably good for offensive linemen. New quarterback for the white team, but it's an immediate handoff up the middle to Israel Benjamin, the running back, the Harvard transfer. It's now Blake Boast in at quarterback, the senior from Port Neches Groves, Texas. Blake Boast had a brother, Austin Boast, who was on the Aggie baseball team. Wore the heralded number 12 for the Aggie baseball team, did Austin Boast. And his brother Blake playing quarterback here for the Aggies in this 2024 maroon and white game. Boast wants to throw. He has pressure. Got away from it for a moment and then was brought down by Jesse Chukwu, sophomore from Cy Falls. Well, speaking of Aggie baseball, they're the number 1 ranked team in the country right now. And
boy, that's exciting.
this Bryan College Station area is swept up in Aggie baseball, and they swept a doubleheader from Alabama yesterday.
After the rain out the day before, yeah.
And they're trying to go for a complete sweep of the series today in Tuscaloosa. Boast has the snap, a couple of lefties in this game at quarterback. Boast will take off and run. He got right around the 45-yard line, and then the tackle credited to Isaiah Willis, sophomore from Sunnyvale.
Got just enough for the first down, keep the chain, move the chains and keep the drive alive there at the 35-yard line.
I've been really impressed throughout this game with the back end. This Aggie defense, pass defense has been really, really solid. You don't see guys running wide open, which is always a good sign. And you, quite frankly, expect guys to make mistakes in a spring game, and you just haven't seen much of that.
Discipline.
Yep.
It's so important on defense.
Yep.
Well, offense too, but.
Samuel Thornton is the center right now. Handoff to Benjamin up the middle. He's brought down in the backfield. And again, that's Chukwu in on a tackle.
Well, since he came in late, he got in there just before the snap. A late addition. He's made 2 or 3 plays.
Aiden Herrera joined him on the tackle. Loss of 1. There's a catch. Close to the first down sticks. Micah Tees on the reception.
It's a good throw there. You like to see that out route led out front of the receiver to the boundary. Good job here seeing Colin Klein adjust the system here, trying to get the ball out of his quarterback's hands quickly, knowing they have a young offensive line, kind of piecemeal situation here. protect them, because the advantage is always going to be with the defense in these type of games and situations. And so seeing if your quarterback can get the ball out of their hands quickly and be decisive is always a test that these coordinators are looking to evaluate.
That is tight end right out of the backfield, but it goes in and out of the hands of Nathan Figueroa.
Yeah, that's one you got to catch. Yeah. Fake the run, little roll left, and just dumping it in the flat, letting the tight end run with it, and he ran before he caught it.
Guards right now for the white team are Ty Banco, a redshirt freshman, and Colton Thomason, also a redshirt freshman. Benjamin briefly ran into his own man and then got it exactly to midfield, possibly just shy of it.
Good tough run there. Talking about tight ends, that's a position a lot of Aggie fans are taking a close look at today. Of course, both your projected starters are sitting out. Trey Watson, the transfer guy that they've been high on, and of course Donovan Green, who was injured last year and has done some good things as well. But tight end is a very important position in any offense, but it's hard to have success in the SEC West without a good tight end.
Any level, that's the case.
Three receivers go right on 3rd down and 6, and that's almost an interception. Bobby Taylor, whose dad played for Notre Dame. Bobby and the Aggies will take on Notre Dame in the opener. He nearly got his hands on one, and if he can grab that and land, it's a lot of green grass in front of him.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of green grass there, Dave. That cover 2 corner forcing the flat as a quarterback. You got to see out front of those guys. A lot of NFL cornerbacks. The old Sam Madison rule for the Dolphins. You used to make 10, 15 million a year off being a cover 2 corner and picking guys off. That's a dicey situation.
Ooh, good kick.
Punt it away, and Moose Muhammad's going to let it land.
Oh,
standing
no.
on the goal
See where your
line,
feet
and,
are.
Bryce Anderson's pretty upset.
Come on, Bryce.
He sent the ball up high. I think he forgot for a moment where he was. He stood on the goal line to down that punt. It's a touchback. We will take a break with the Maroon team out in front. 7, told you, thrust into action due to injury last year. Made his first career start in November against Mississippi State. He threw for 150 and a couple of touchdowns. He rushed for 60 and 2 more touchdowns. Completed right at 68% of his passes. Henderson, a transfer from Fresno State, going under center and having trouble with the snap.
Ooh.
Everything today has been run from the shotgun, this time under center, and a botched snap.
He'll pick up a yard on that one. More importantly, he didn't lose the ball.
Anthony Denota is the running back next to Henderson. He's a junior from Frisco, Texas. And he'll swing out to the left side, and Henderson wants to throw the other way. Pass complete, but brought down rather quickly. It was a minimal gain. 3rd down and 5 now.
It's a good throw, though, Will. On the left hash, that ball has to travel a long way on a quick out route. That's a scary throw. And you see the arm strength and the accuracy there by Jalen.
Over the middle, but immediately met. Catch was made by Johnny Ryder. But
Big
punt it
third down.
away.
Yeah, big 3rd down stop for that white defense. Trailing here 7-3, they need to get back into the game. They should get good field position.
Tyrus Allen back deep to retrieve this punt. Allen, quite the addition to this roster, almost 19 yards per catch in 2 seasons at Louisiana Tech. And he'll call for the fair catch and make it right around the 31-yard line. So the white team now trailing. And we'll take a break. They'll have the ball back, trying to either get closer or grab the lead here at the 2024 Maroon and White game. Conversation with Texas A&M Director of Athletics Trev Alberts. He joins us here in the booth. Connor Wigman wants to go up top. He's looking for Micah Tees, and that will fall incomplete.
Double coverage on that right side offensively.
Man-to-man coverage there, and it's I'm telling you, it's been impressive. This back end continues to compete and be in position to break up passes. And Connor's put some on the money. He's already had 3 drops early in this game, and this back end is won the first half.
Yeah, very low scoring. Good defense once again. They tried to sweep to the right side offensively, and nothing there. It'll be 3rd and 9.
And now joined with our new athletic director, Trev. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. It's great to meet you, and thanks for what you do.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to have you here.
How's your first days in Aggieland been?
Well, I think it's been about a month, and I'll just say it's been ambitious. I've met a lot of people, and I've met a lot of really good people. Just a lot of wonderful people associated with this place. A lot of great coaches in our department, great folks working in the athletic department. So a real blessing and an honor to get to be a part of the team.
And I know you're going to be working closely with Mike Elko. Talk to us about how your relationship with him has developed.
Yeah, it's obviously at this level, the relationship between the athletic director and the head football coach is really, really important, and you really look at it more as a partnership. Football success at schools like Texas A&M, in a sense, is sort of non-negotiable, right? Like, you have to have a football program that is making progress, given the importance of it in terms of the rest of the athletic department. So I've really enjoyed it. I didn't know Mike well. I sort of watched him from afar, watched him as the head coach. I knew he was a defensive coordinator here, but everything that I sort of thought in watching, video after video, he's a first-class individual, not only a great football coach.
You're echoing exactly my thoughts about Elko. Of course, I knew him as the DC here, and we used to talk every Thursday afternoon about the upcoming game, and he was so gracious to give me that time and to help me with the broadcast, and I developed I'm the leader of his fan club. I'm so glad he's here now as our head coach.
I think we're really fortunate he's our coach. What I love about his path, when you look back at his journey to become the head coach at Texas A&M, nothing was given to him. He worked really hard at every level to grow his career, to learn, to go through the fire, to find himself here now. Pretty remarkable trajectory and journey for him.
Well, and I'm quite sure that the only reason that he wasn't considered for the head coaching job before is that he had no experience as a head coach, and he proved himself at Duke as a very good head coach, and I'm so glad that he's now back in Aggie land.
Yeah, we all are, and I'll tell you, as an old defensive player, I have to be honest with you. I like good defense, and if there's anything I have noticed here today, I learned this a long time ago. Don't make broad judgments about your team based on what you see at the spring game when you're playing against each other, because you can think you have a great defense and find out that maybe the offense isn't as good as you'd hoped, right? But this is a defensive mind, and I've been to several practices and watched Coach Elko very, very much involved in the defense, and I think one of the things that we will have this year is I think you're going to have a defense that's fundamentally sound, that gets to the football, and that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, well, you and I have that in common as old defenders.
I'm outnumbered.
We really appreciate defense. Yeah, Stephen, you are outnumbered, no question. 2-1.
Got an All-American and a Buckus Award winner over here. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on NIL and how that has changed so much in just the last 5 years, and then coming to A&M and getting that program evolving. What have you seen there, and how have you already started to make changes?
Well, it's obviously critically important. It's one of those things that happened so quickly to all of us. We weren't prepared for it. the goalposts continue to change. I mean, what we were working on back at Nebraska 9 months ago is like obsolete now. I mean, that's been the chief challenge about it, is trying to understand. Next thing you know, a local, attorney general, there'll be an injunction filed, and now you're allowed to do this. And so adjusting, adapting, and for me, there's a lot of infrastructure that's really good in place here right now. A lot of it's just, communication. It's like, hey, that's a great pass. What are we currently doing, and what can we do as an administration? I think sometimes that's the missing component. So we're diving in deep, to try to understand what can we do administratively to support what Aggie United is doing and our donors are doing to help support our coaches. I mean, not everybody loves it, but this is a short-term thing that we need to come around Coach Elko, Coach Williams, Coach Taylor, all of our coaches, Coach Schloss, and we need to make sure we don't take a step back. Because it's critically important. This is what's happening in college athletics. We need to embrace it and be great at it.
Speaking of Coach Schloss, #1 ranked team in the country right now. Tell us your thoughts on how excited that is to have a program like that at A&M.
Well, it's pretty remarkable, and he's another one. Staffs. That's when you can build something that not only is maybe successful short term, but is sustainable long term. And so that's what we'll really be trying to do administratively. We're here to support about 600 student athletes and our coaches. That's our job, and we're going to work really hard at it.
Marcel Reed with another completion, a good drive here by the young signal caller. A little 2-minute drill, always good for the quarterbacks. See how they react. I'm curious to know your thoughts on, all the rage right now is conference realignment, and what does that look like if you look 5 years down the road? There's even been the idea of 70 teams in one conference. What are your thoughts on what this looks like in the years to come?
It's really going to be hard to try to, pinpoint exactly what it might look like. But I would just say this, and this is also an uncomfortable thing to say sometimes, but the reality is the economics of it sort of drive all of these decisions. And part of that is driven, in the old day when we played, ticket revenue was the primary revenue source, and whoever had the bigger stadium, they had more money and they had a better team. Today, it's television revenue. And so it's what your brand value is. And as the television revenue is significantly outpaced what your ticket revenue is, at the end of the day, it may feel uncomfortable to some, but the networks are having a very strong say in terms of what that affiliation and conference looks like. Because at the end of the day, for us to continue to get that type of revenue from television, it has to be the types of games, the type of brands that rate. They run a business too.
Exactly.
And so I think a lot of it's going to be, I don't think you're going to have 70 teams. I think there's going to be more contraction, and there are going to be fewer and fewer teams that are going to be considered, in elite college football. The one thing I do have confidence in is I don't think of any scenario where Texas A&M is not a part of whatever happens, because this place is special and has an opportunity that few have.
Yep.
I was supposed to ask you about your playing experience against Nebraska. I understand.
Don't remind us.
Oh yeah.
Don't remind us.
What year was it? What year was that?
Oh, it's many moons ago.
No, you remember exactly what year it was. Come on, Steven.
Broken shoulders, thrown up on my coach's feet. If I never go back to Nebraska, I'll die a happy man.
I heard we turned you into an option quarterback that game.
Well, for that year, yeah. Certainly were.
Okay, he's not going to come up with it. He carried the ball 36 times as a quarterback. Come on.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thanks for reminding us. That probably cost me a couple years of my life.
Well, the Maroons making a drive now. They're just short of the first down, it looks like. Let's see what they're going to do here on third down in less than, about a yard. They're on the 5-yard line, or inside the 5-yard line, trying to increase their lead here. They lead it 7-3. Good, solid run. Did he get in? Nope. He's going to be just inside. They're going to move the chains, and it's going to be 1st and goal from inside the 1-yard line for the Aggie Maroon team.
It's been a good drive for this young quarterback, Marcel Reed. He's responded well, gotten the ball out of his hands, been accurate throwing the football. And of course, we can't really fully see the athleticism in a game like this, but we know that he adds that element as well. All right, moving back to Texas from Nebraska. I think the one thing we can all agree that Texas has really good that Nebraska probably doesn't is Tex-Mex. Have you been able to enjoy that?
Important stuff now, yeah.
It's amazing. I will say we were staying at one of the casitas over at Traditions, and when we went in there, they had a little pamphlet, and there's a piece of paper that has local restaurants. There's about 45 on there, and we literally have been going checking them. We have not been to a local restaurant yet that we said, man, that wasn't incredible. I mean, every single very, very high-end food experience so far here in College Station, Bryan community.
It's good to know. Good to hear. Good to hear. I don't live in town, but I come over here quite often. So
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
So as we project out for the next 30 days, what are the things that you're really eager to get done as you progress here as the AD?
Well, we're looking hard, administratively at trying to, really understand what our leadership team is going to look like. We need to understand what the future looks like. We're working really hard right now with the SEC on, we've kind of talked about this a little bit, but the timeline's getting compressed relative to the House case and some of this litigation. So some of the stuff that the lawsuits nationally that came out, they're getting close to when they're going to trial. And so at some point, decisions are going to have to be made about, do we engage in settlement talks, or what is this new model in college athletics that potentially could emerge, and what effort do we make to try to affect it?
Touchdown there by Noah Thomas. It's good to see. A nice pick play there, man-to-man coverage.
Yeah.
You see Colin Klein working his magic, getting the guy, using the scheme to get guys open.
And using Marcel's legs to get out there. He's rolling to his left. That's a hard throw across your body, as you know, right-handed quarterback. But he made it very accurate, and Maroon will take a bigger lead, 13-3 with the extra point to come.
I will say, we talked about Coach Elko, and I love the hire of Colin Klein, though. That was a fantastic hire. Getting a young man to leave his alma mater at Kansas State, come down here and be our offensive coordinator is really awesome. He really knows what he's doing.
You've just brought up something.
To the Legends game presented by the City of Bryan. Let me introduce you to your head coaches. He's a Texas A&M Hall of Famer with the Atlanta Falcons, Jake Matthews. And the 2018 SEC leading rusher, helping him out, Travion Williams. Maroon team, head coach, Cullen Gillespie. And he's helped out today by our guy, Terrence Murphy. Here's your coaches for today's game. All right, everybody, Jake Ubenak is our all-time quarterback this afternoon. Who did we determine has the ball first, guys?
Maroon team.
Maroon team's got the ball first. Jake, get them lined up, and let's get going. 25-yard line, Jake, 25-yard line. Jake, you have 3 downs to get it to the 10. You have 3 more to get it into the end zone. You ready for this?
So ready. Never been more ready.
Jake Ubenak, quarterback the Aggies in the 2015 Music City Bowl. It looks like Jake Matthews has another assistant with him here. Who's this other assistant you have with you?
This is my son Beckett, future Aggie in the making.
Looks like he wants to give a gig 'em right now. Andre Brooks is going to be the center for the Maroon team. And we're ready to go. First play of the game. I know who he's looking for. He's looking for the easy catch from Uzoma Easy Wachaku. Why not? Easy helped Johnny Manziel win a Heisman here in 2012. Why not send him the first ball of the game? So you're at the 15-yard line, Maroon team. You got 2 more plays to get it to the 10. 2 more plays to get it to the 10. Oh, he's going for Kendrick Rogers. A little too tall. How about 2018, the 7 overtime game against LSU, and the catch Kendrick Rogers made in overtime. He almost pulled down another one just like that. Okay, it's your last shot, Maroon, to get it to the 10. Last shot to get it to the 10 here. So treat it like it's 4th down. You guys lined up at the 10. There's a good offensive line here. Wide open, Wes Bonovich. Touchdown, Wes Bonovich. That's a lead for the Maroon team. Wes, how'd you get so open?
Ooh, I think they lost me in the crowd.
That works too.
8.5 minutes remaining. Team Pro now leads Team Pickett by a score of 7-0.
All right, Team Pickard's first chance. Team Pickard, the white team, your first chance. Team Pickard, the white team, they've got the madman out here, Spencer Neely. Cole Reinertz will be the center for the white team. Right over the middle, Leon O'Neal, number 9. He got a first down inside the 10. So 3 plays for the white team to get it into the end zone. Travion Williams, the offensive coordinator here, he does not employ the hurry up, no huddle. We've got Jeff Fuller out here, one of the all-time leading receivers in Texas A&M history. Jake's looking for him. A little too quick. Good defense, Kendrick Rogers. That's not bad. He may be looking for Jeff Fuller again. We've got Brandon Leone out here. We got Darrell Walker looking for Darrell Walker, touchdown. Darrell Walker made some big plays in our 2013 Peach Bowl win. Ironically, over Duke. So we're 7-7. All right, Maroon team. Team Crow got to break the tie. Jake Ubenak talking it over with Carl Roaches, one of our 1975 Southwest Conference champions. Also on the Maroon team, welcome back to Aggieland, DeShazer Everett. And we also have Ike Lyles, who made the first ever tackle by a 12th man kickoff team member back in 1983. Oh, Jake wants a deep ball to Kendrick. No, he looked him off. He's going for Ike Lyles. Showing the original 12th man kickoff team some love. A bit too far. What's the problem, Gilly? What's the problem?
It is 10 on 5. They have 10 defenders on the field. I thought this is 7 on 7.
So you have accusations of cheating. Too many men on the field. If we had a flag, we would throw it on the white team. White team, you can only have 7. Count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 7 now. You're good. Gilly's cries were heard. 7 on 7. We're squared up. Terrence Murphy going over the offense with Jake Ubenak. Let's see what he dials up. Over the middle to DeShazer. Was that it? Was that third down? No, they got one more. Third down right now. You got to get 15 yards, Maroon team. Oh, the 10 men on the field was called. So it went back to first down. The penalty was called. What are we at? Second down then? Second down. So we got the penalty. Gilly pleaded for it. The former 12th man gets it. That's good coaching. That's good coaching.
That's good coaching. I'm about to take one flags and these refs start throwing them.
Oh, we may have had a hold in the second. Get Bonovich again. Get Bonovich involved in the air game. Did you get the flag? Got him inside the 5.
Wes Bodovich making a bid for Legends Game MVP here. One touchdown catch, one other big catch. Spencer Neely, how come you're not on defense here? This is goal to go.
Well, you know, I'm the most in shape. It's not fair. So, but I'm playing a touchdown on this next drive.
Neely's going to get to the end zone. No, we got him down at the 1. Down at the 1. Couldn't rip the flag, but, well, we got more controversy here. We're going touchdown with that. Now we're dropping play sheets for the other team to recover. We do have 14-7, and you're getting down to possibly your last chance, Team Pickard. It's a big drive. It's a big drive right here. You might want to look for Spencer Neely when you need a big play. Got two wideouts here that can run deep, Darrell Walker and Jeff Fuller. He's looking that way. Oh, Neely was open. Now he's going to the end zone. Got to tightrope it. Not quite. He wanted it all in one play. Good effort, Brandon Leone, good effort. That a way to try to keep the foot down. Try to haul it in. Under 2 minutes to go. There's under 2 minutes to go. You're down 14-7. Got to make something happen. Who's going to make the play? Get it to Jeff Fuller. Oh, I don't think the flag's out. Fuller. You can't pull his pants down. You got to take the flag out. You can't pull his shorts down. You got to take the flag out. Touchdown. Touchdown, Jeff Fuller. We're 14-14. 45 seconds. Maroon team, you maybe one, maybe two plays. One, maybe two plays. Here's one of them. Kendrick Rogers. I don't think he has any flags in. They got it. They got it. Is there one play left? Last play of the game. Last play of the game. Hurry up offense right here. Last play of the game. This is for the win or the tie. Gilly's losing it down here. For the win! No! Intercepted by Jeff Fuller. What'd you dial up there, Gilly? What happened?
I said throw it up to Kendrick, and my quarterback did not listen to me. He tried to thread a needle there. I don't know what we're doing. He throw it right to the 6'8" dude. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, how nice is it anyway to be back in Aggieland for you?
It's great. I'm just happy to be out here. I think I speak for all the guys when, it's just a blessing to be able to come back and see all the fans and get to be a part of something bigger than us.
There's your 2024 Legends game presented by the City of Bryan, everybody. How about a hand for our Legends?
take the field now with Connor Wigman back at quarterback. It was a quick start for Connor, the big completion early, but it's been slow going for this White offense since. Only 3 points on the board after that first drive, not much happening.
And the Maroon team scoring late to take a 14-3 lead as they start the second half, and it will be that score: Maroon 14, White 3.
That's what he does best right there.
Accurate,
quick release, puts the ball out in the boundary. Good completion on first down. Keep this offense in front of the chains. That's going to be very important, especially with an offensive line that's going through transition, trying to put that together.
Right.
Getting the ball, having a quarterback that can use his legs certainly, but when he is in the pocket, he's a quick decision maker and he's accurate.
Quick out route with it was that one, and it'll make it 2nd and 5. Oh.
All right, guys, what did I miss?
Well, not a whole lot.
Had a shot there for a touchdown, slant and go.
Yep.
And
we've seen enough breaks with Connor, I'll tell you what.
Now there's pressure, and he will go down.
Welcome back, Will.
Yeah. You guys might have to take it for a little while. I'm a
You're
little
busy.
out of breath.
Well,
Yeah.
you out of breath. Did you have to come the stairs or what?
No. Thank goodness for elevators. Although I am getting some social media correspondence that is requesting Stephen McGee quarterback a future Legends game.
Good idea.
Well, I can tell you that Uncle Rico has officially retired.
Can't throw the ball over those mountains anymore?
I struggle enough getting around a golf course.
So a punt away here in the third quarter. And that's another Moose Muhammad fair catch.
Got the storm blowing in here. Could create a very interesting second half.
Yes, it is getting dark and windy.
Many thought the weather would stay away till this evening.
Well, we can still hope. Right now, it isn't raining yet. It is a little breezy. And the Maroon will take over with the football, leading 14-3.
Le'Veon Moss in the backfield. Jalen Henderson wants to throw. He's got the pass complete. That's first down yardage for Noah Thomas.
I love a naked play there where you boot your quarterback out on early downs. You're trying to get that defensive line to bait down unblocked on the end and then get your quarterback outside the pocket. Helps your offensive line get easy completions like that, get the chains moving, get your quarterback in a rhythm.
Well, you get time. You buy time because there's nobody out there to harass the quarterback.
There's some penetration in the backfield and stringing this one out very well. The White defense, that is led by Bryce Anderson.
Nick Scorton in there as well, and you can see why all these teammates are so high on him, that athleticism, big body guy. And I'll be honest with you guys, you know, you looked up after this bowl game and you saw, man, we have a depleted roster. You have guys going to the draft, guys going in the portal. And how impressive was it what Mike Elko did in his first couple weeks here, getting 24 guys in the portal, and in my opinion, none bigger than Nick Scorton off the edge.
Absolutely important. No question about that. It's great to have Mike here.
Led the Big Ten in sacks, did Scorton last year. Now up top, deep ball, trying to look over his shoulder and incomplete. Still laying on the turf was Jahdae Walker.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised on second and long. They went deep instead of trying to cut down this. It was 2nd and 11 then. Now it's 3rd and 11, and that's a tough one to pick up.
Walker last year, 35 catches, almost 600 yards. Really came on late last season. But 3rd and behind the chains for Jalen Henderson and the Maroon team offense, trying to pad their 14-3 lead. Pressure coming, but he evades it. He's going deep. Got his man inside the 10. Did Noah Thomas hang on? Big play down inside the 10. Noah Thomas, the 29 catches last year, just made a big one right there inside the 10-yard line.
Boy, pretty good throw on the run.
Yep. when you got a guy like Noah Thomas out there, you just throw it up, and there's a good chance he's going to come down with it. That's one of the things he does best. That long body goes up and pinpoints it at the top, and a good job there by Jalen Henderson, stepping up into the pocket first, let the rush go around, and then get outside, kept his eyes downfield, and a big-time completion.
Trying to punch it in. Le'Veon Moss inside the 5-yard line. Moss very much a part of this offense. Last year they split the carries pretty well. Amari Daniels had 105, Reuben Owens 101. Moss had 96, but Moss played in a couple less games than the other two.
And they said it's going to be running back by committee again this year. Of course, Colin Klein a couple years ago at Kansas State had 3 runners, all over 500 yards, one in which Deuce Vaughn, I think, had over 1,500. So they're all going to play an important role. What I love most about these running backs, though, is their ability to not just be a runner, but catch the ball out of the backfield, which, as you guys know, is a lot of plays the biggest mismatch is a running back on a linebacker in the pass game.
No question about it. You've got to be able to throw to the running backs, especially, I mean, since they're your reliever, if you will. If you got nobody else, you can always dump it off old quarterback.
That old safety valve.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that one was incomplete, so it's going to be 3rd and goal for Maroon now.
Be a good look to see what Jalen Henderson does here. Of course, defenses are going to be flat-footed. They can't get beat deep. So accuracy, anticipation, decisiveness, those are the things that really matter when this end zone gets squeezed down like it is here.
You got no deep threat, so you're right. They can squat and, oh, wow. Did he catch that?
Noah Thomas, terrific catch with a flag down. If it stands, it extends the Maroon team lead.
They threw a corner route, and it was absolutely perfect.
He aced that test.
Yeah, he did.
Good drive by
And he
Noah
threw
Thomas.
that off balance. I mean, he had to. He was moving around a little bit, holding on the defense. This touchdown will stand.
Noah Thomas, he had 5 touchdown catches a year ago to lead Texas A&M. Well, that drive was just about all him through the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great throw, Dave. He had a free rusher in his face, and that is not easy, especially with this defensive line, and put it out front, and really a phenomenal catch, fully extended there by Noah Thomas, and it's good to see him healthy, right? That's always been the biggest question mark around Noah Thomas, is not a lack of ability, but is he going to be on the field? And it's a good sight for Aggies.
If we can keep our players, our key players healthy, which we haven't been able to do the last few years, then the A&M program will be competitive. I mean, otherwise it's not, because
you think about the last 3 seasons, it starts with your quarterback. Your
Exactly.
starting quarterback has been hurt each of the last 3 seasons.
Well,
the
at least
rain does fall here in college.
At least one starting quarterback, but the last couple of years it's been 2 or 3. I mean,
well, A&M
in
played
the bowl game
with
we go to, and I think the front's here.
I would say it's fully arrived, and
I think it's a little early.
You know, this reminds me of some of those August 2-day practices when your center is dripping sweat all over the football. You know, those
wet ball.
pants. I guess they're getting
Good prep for a rainy day.
Hey, you never know when you're going to play in the rain, so this is good practice, I suppose.
Wigman wants to throw in the rain. Tried to go over the middle to Jaden Platt. Little late activity on that play. Platt had a touchdown catch last year in the Abilene Christian game in his first year at A&M. A&M pretty deep at tight end. Platt, Theo Mellon, Orstrom. They get Donovan Green back from injury a season ago. Well, it's 3rd and long again. Incomplete as he tried to get it out to Reuben Owens.
Yeah, that wasn't going to go anywhere even if he completes it. Maroon defense was waiting for it out in the flat, and they're going to have to punt this one away. It's 4th and 9.
It was good coverage on the back end again by the Aggie defense, but I know it wasn't a first down, but if you're looking for a highlight there on that series is on 3rd and long, when you know the pass rush is going to be teeing off, they're not worried about the run on that play, and that was a really good pass pro down by that Aggie offensive line. He had all day, there was just nowhere to go with the football.
Moose Muhammad back yet again to retrieve another punt. A&M said goodbye to their punter a year ago, Nick Constantino.
And he was a good one.
Yeah, he's one of the Aggies that was actually invited to the Combine. And there's 5 Aggies that went to the Combine and prepped for the NFL draft this year, all of them waiting to see what their fate is in Detroit starting on Thursday. Edgerrin Cooper could be a first-rounder. But McKinley Jackson, Aniyah Smith, Layden Robinson, and Constantino all await word when that draft starts on Thursday.
You know, Aniyah Smith is a guy that, you know, I think we're going to really miss, not just his on-field presence and his playmaking ability and offense, special teams, his unselfishness, but, man, that leadership that he provided. Coach, put me wherever you need me. I'll do whatever you ask. He ran the ball. He did it all, and I'm really pulling for him and hope he gets in a good situation.
Yeah, not only a great talent, but just a good human being, a good leader.
So the ball is back in the hands of Le'Veon Moss. Good gain on 1st down.
Good job by the offensive line, gaining the edge. The defense gave up contain there. That's what's so important on these outside zone plays. If you're going to have success, you got to gain that edge blocker that's not trying to allow you to get outside.
Got to have a force man. As an old, strong safety, that's what my keys were all about. You got to read the run, and if it's coming your way, you got to get up there and contain it.
Was just shy of the 1st down stick, so 2nd and 1, and Denota getting up the middle to get the 1st down and crossing into white team territory.
Showing a little power there, right up the middle. Good blocking by that O-line, and they're going to move it down to the 47-yard line. This Maroon offense has been really good today.
Broke a couple tackles there early, got yards after contact, and I think when you start to see the elements as a coach, you preach ball security. You're always preaching ball security, but especially so when it's wet. Make sure guys secure the football.
Shotgun formation for Reed. Bobbled by Noah Thomas, but he slipped a tackle. He'll get yardage out of this.
Did you see how Marcel dropped down because he had the guy in front of him?
Athletic, man. They throw
That's very athletic.
Like a shortstop, you know. It's
Mahomesian?
He had to throw it sidearm to get to miss the defender that was in his face, and he completed it and picks up 5 yards. Heck of a play.
And after Noah Thomas bobbled that, I thought it was going to be stopped in the backfield. Thought you were looking at 2nd and +10. Manageable now as the Maroon team on another march. Met at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, just a dump out in the flat. I don't have an 84 on here, I don't think.
Now, some numbers could have been swapped due to injury.
I think it wasn't that 84 that caught the ball.
It was, yeah. And it's a good job by Marcel Reed too on those bubble screens. Many times run pass option, counting the guys in the box. Too many guys in the box, you flip it out on the perimeter.
Reed downfield, too high for his intended receiver. Looked like he wanted Moose Muhammad over the middle. A little too much zip. Incomplete pass.
So as a quarterback, I've never even asked a quarterback. I know a jillion of them. What are is there a standard thing that you're looking at pre-snap and then after the snap, who you're looking at, or does it depend on the play?
It often depends on the play, and it's a great question, but so many run pass options now where you're looking at a nickel Sam or a linebacker. If they're trying to sneak down in the box to support the run game, like you see right here, you see the safety creeping down to the weak side. Now that's a pass key. Yep, so there's your RPU. It's a perfect example. So the slant now is replacing that safety coming down in the box because he's unaccounted for right there.
I got a flag down, but that was good defense right there. Yeah, I've always wondered, what is a quarterback? Who's he keying?
There's so many different keys, right? It depends on what they're asking you to do. There's run pass kills where you're looking at a safety. Is it too high? Then we're going to run it. If they bring a safety down, then we're going to go to the pass play. Then you have pass protections, right, where you're trying to key a linebacker and say, hey, we have to adjust the protection because now they're bringing pressure to the weak side. Now we got to re-mic it, right? So our offensive line is going the other direction. So there's a lot, especially in Jimbo's offense. That was one of the complaints. They asked the quarterback to do a lot of things at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, what happened to the snap?
That's a botched play from the start.
I think the white team just recovered it.
You got a turnover. That's Shamar Stewart on a recovery at the bottom of the pile once it separates.
Yeah.
I don't think that ball ever got off the ground. It was probably a wet football issue with the center.
I'm so glad that quarterbacks' keys are so much more complicated than safety keys.
Yeah, look, that ball never did get off the ground.
Mark Nabu, he slid it, and it just came out of his hand. The rain has dissipated, but the wet turf will be consistent from here on out.
Wet turf and wet football. As great of a job as Goose does as our equipment manager and Matt Watson, that's almost impossible to keep footballs dry in this type of element.
That's Stevens' ploy for some swag on the broadcast. So the white team takes over after the turnover.
Little sweep left. A little cut back before he ever got outside. He's going to pick up a couple. 2nd and 8.
Also a shout out to our 12th Man Productions crew bringing you this one on SEC Network Plus. Plenty of activity right now on the A&M campus. Track and field meet, softball game, weather possibly affecting all of them, but 12th Man Productions control rooms are full in that south end zone of Kyle Field with 3 events all going on at the same time, but bringing you this one on the SEC Network Plus platform. It's Will Johnson, Dave Elmendorf, and Stephen McGee with you. We told you that this is your only game day look at the Aggies until August 31st, which is about as good an opener as you're ever going to ask for here at Kyle Field.
Fighting Irish of Notre Dame will be coming to Kyle Field on the 31st.
We were talking before we came on the air. It's possible Mike Elko will see his old quarterback at Duke when Notre Dame rolls in here. Riley Leonard transferred over to South Bend.
Really good player, dual threat guy as well. Right? Can use his legs, and if anybody knows how to stop him, though, it should be Mike Elko.
Yeah.
He's got some film on the guy.
He'll have a scouting report, that's for sure, on the quarterback. What did he coach him both years at Duke?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And A&M, they will start conference play September 14th at Florida. Big games at home. You always like that. Your bigger games at home this season. Pressure.
He got touched, and that's all it takes.
Quarterback right now is Paxton Land. He is sacked. A&M will play LSU here at Kyle Field October 26th. Also in October, they get Missouri, who is expected to have a really good team this season. Oh, and there's one on November 30th to close the regular season.
Oh, who would that be?
That a lot of folks are interested in.
Anybody we've ever played?
Yeah. The rivalry resumed. Texas A&M and Texas 2 days after Thanksgiving, November 30th here at Kyle Field.
I'm really excited that is happening. Of course, it was a huge rivalry back when I was here 100 years ago.
Boomed over the head of Moose Muhammad there.
Certainly no easy games in the SEC, but if you look at the draw of this schedule next year, it looks very favorable. Of course, you got the bookends with Notre Dame to begin the year and Texas at the end, but it is a schedule that really does. If you look at previous teams, and you don't know who's going to emerge here, there's going to be one of these teams will have a really good run, but you like your odds here.
The expected front has come in early. Wet turf down there on Kyle Field, trying to get around the edge and up to the 40-yard line. That's Johnny Ryder, who was on the video staff for the Texas A&M football team 2 years ago. Sophomore from Granger, decided to attend the walk-on tryouts. Here he is a couple of years later in the maroon and white game.
You think about the weeks to come with the transfer portal opening up and how important that's going to be. Mike Elko mentioned, what a better place they are in now and how they feel very confident their ability to handle it. I'm sure they're going to have some key additions. But you have to feel good at A&M that if there's a player out there that you want to get, we have the ability to go get them with the facilities and the NIL.
Henderson swings it out. First down yardage, 40-yard line, and out of bounds.
It's great that the Aggies can compete in that marketplace, even as crazy as it is, in my humble opinion, where you have every player every year in college football becomes an unrestricted free agent. I think that's insanity and certainly chaotic. I really wanted to ask Trev about that and see what his thoughts are, but didn't get an opportunity.
Catch was by Blake Bunton, freshman from Franklin, Tennessee. So 1st and 10. Another good drive going for the Maroon team. Henderson going up top, but nobody is up top.
That was a miscommunication because there was nobody within 10 yards of where that ball landed. But that's just an incomplete pass and come back for 2nd and 10.
And that can happen with the backups. These guys don't get near as many reps as the groups that we've seen earlier start the game. But you talk about the needs right now for this football team, and I think offensive line, right? I mean, that's the key to any good football team. Is it all starts up front. You can't win football games, especially in the West, without a good offensive line. And I think you have to feel a little bit better, but still some question marks there until you're actually in live action as to how good they really are and who those 5 guys will actually be. There's a lot of candidates that are competing for those 5 spots.
Man, it doesn't make any difference which side of the football. You win up front, both sides. A guy in the secondary is really in trouble if he doesn't have a pass rush. Yep. And guys up front that can stop the run. I mean, you just got to have people up front. If you don't, your chances of winning go way down. I've been saying that for 30 plus years. You went up front.
Jalen Henderson got that last pass to Johnny Ryder. Hands this off to Ronnie Crosby, a freshman from DeRidder, Louisiana.
Good cut there. Yeah, then I think the other question mark for the offensive side of the ball is going to be who's the explosive playmaker, the guy that can change the game. Oftentimes it's a guy with incredible speed, but it doesn't have to be, right? You think of a guy like Jerry Rice, who didn't have top-end speed, but was certainly a game changer. And so who's going to emerge? There's obviously some really good, talented wide receivers, but that's the question mark, I think, as the game changer goes outside the offensive line, is who that wide receiver is going to be.
Henderson wants to throw to the end zone, looking for Bunton.
I don't think he kept his. I think he caught it out of the end zone. I don't think that's a touchdown. But
terrific grab, nonetheless.
One-hander, absolutely.
The freshman from Franklin, Tennessee, terrific grab. Won't get credited for the catch, though.
Well, and sometimes it's not a wide receiver. Sometimes it's a tight end.
It's close.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
On a Saturday in the fall, that might be getting reviewed.
They're not going to review it today.
He's had a good drive, though. He's made a couple really nice plays.
And the reason I say sometimes it's a tight end that is your go-to guy. I had nightmares as a strong safety with the Rams about Charlie Sanders from Detroit. He was impossible to defend.
Well, even if Bunton had come down in bounds with that, there was a penalty. So it moves it back, but here's a tough run by Preston Landis, the University of North Texas transfer. He gets it back toward the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he broke a tackle and kept on going. Bring up second in about 10.
You know, to your point, Dave, about tight ends, it's I've always argued that's the hardest position to play because they're asked to do so much.
Exactly.
They're pass blocking a first-round pick from Alabama off the edge. They're in the run game. They have to know all the run calls. And then, oh, by the way, you're running routes. You have to know the full route tree. And,
well, you have to be able to catch.
And catch, yeah.
Good hands. I mean, all those things. So, yeah, they're complete football players, those tight ends, and I have great respect for them. Having tried to I've tried to cover them for many, many years.
Third down, they'll need 10. Have to get it to right about the 16-yard line.
And speaking of tight ends, I'm really hoping that Donovan Green comes back at full speed soon.
Yeah, that would be exciting. And I think also getting an eye on Trey Watson, the transfer from Fresno State. Heard a lot of really good things about him. There's certainly going to be some competition in that room.
Yeah,
Didn't get much as Henderson took off to run.
Good coverage in the secondary. He had some ample time to locate a receiver, but couldn't find one, and he'll run with it, and it'll be fourth and about 7, and it looks like they're going to attempt a field goal here already with a 21-3 lead.
The most important thing he did there was not take a sack in scoring position. You see that oftentimes with young quarterbacks. When you're in field goal position, you take a sack, and all of a sudden you're punting. And I know that's a head coach's worst nightmare, and when you can trust a quarterback not to take a sack, it's always a big step in the right direction.
That looked like it was right down the middle with plenty to spare, that 40-yard field goal attempt. So
Randy Bond is good. 26 of 35 last year. He's good from 40 yards there. And the Maroon team ups the lead to 24-3. Well, about halfway through the fourth quarter. Well, I mentioned it. You were talking explosive plays earlier, Stephen, and you just saw Randy Bond come on, make that field goal. 35 attempts last year. To me, drives have to end in touchdowns, whether that's explosive plays or you cash in the red zone. But it's always a little harder in the red zone. There's not the expanded field to work with. And, oh, yeah, you're going against SEC defenses down there.
Yep, it forces offenses to be incredibly efficient and execute and win the one-on-ones.
That was a low step to Connor Wigman.
And they got quick pressure, and that play will go nowhere. It'll lose where they touched him. It'll lose about 5 yards.
Guess who that was? Mr. Nick Scorton again off the edge. The zone read, he's the unblocked defender. I think what happened there is the quarterback is reading him, and he would have liked to give him that ball, but because it was on the ground, it was difficult, right, that exchange. And so all the things that frustrate an offensive coordinator and the elements in the rain, and there's another example.
Scorton is from Bryan, Texas. Right down here in Bryan, Texas, then went to Purdue.
How do we let him get away?
He's coming again. He got around a tackle there and was coming again for Connor Wigman. Got the pass off, got it complete. And getting out of bounds is Cyrus Allen. Allen, a New Orleans native, will be a junior after transferring from Louisiana Tech.
So 3rd and 8.
Here comes the pressure.
It's Jared Kerr creeping up from the safety spot, but they pick him up. And that is incomplete over the middle, but a flag drops.
Well, I'm wondering what they're going to call here. That didn't look like interference at all. That was great anticipation by Jared Kerr.
Well, from the quarterback's view, it was definitely a pass interference.
I knew that was coming. That's a good line.
Yeah, he got
well, there's
him.
a jersey
Oh, he's
tug.
holding him. Okay.
Yeah,
He
jersey
definitely
tug.
grabbed
He's
him.
trying to get it to Cyrus Allen.
Yeah, those are the things you can't see at full speed. He was holding him, and he had his back to us, so we couldn't see that he had his jersey, a handful of jersey. So it'll be first down at the 39-yard line.
We were talking about the tight end earlier. Jaden Platt on that play. In pass protection, blocked the strong safety. You can see the effect they have. That was a really good job by him.
Up the middle in a big hole, Reuben Owens.
He's gone.
Reuben Owens. 3 touchdowns last year.
More this year.
And one more here in the maroon and white game. Busts free, long gainer. He is to the house.
And nothing fancy, just a little short sweep, and he's gone. Good blocking by that O-line.
Inside zone run game there. Hat on a hat, getting up to the second level. Nice job by this offensive line. And, of course, Reuben Owens with that top-level speed. There's no one catching him, and that's what makes him so dangerous is when he is in the open field, he's dynamic.
Drake Batia for the extra point. And he drove it home. Might be a tad too late, but the white team gets closer.
Well, if they're going to have any chance at all, they're going to have to shut down this maroon offense, and relatively quickly with only 4 minutes left in the game.
Well, the white team scored first. Early first quarter, they got a field goal. This is their first score since you go all the way to the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
Man, the big problem is that in the meantime, the maroon team was putting up 24.
So it will be Marcel Reed here for the maroon team as you get close to the end of this one.
You'd think they'd want to keep it on the ground.
And it appears this fourth quarter is a running clock. Denota is stacked up by Shamar Stewart. Stewart's been active today. He'll be active all season long.
Well, I'm glad I'm not a quarterback or a running back getting tackled by that guy. He's an impressive athlete, and you know why everybody's been raging about him this spring. And there's a lot of really good defensive linemen, but I keep going back to this back end, this secondary. I've been really impressed, and there's some guys that are going to get added to the fold. I mean, I'm excited to see Des Ricks out of Alabama, the transfer. He's a very talented guy, but they've done a great job on the back end.
Well, we really need that because we lost so much.
Jaden Hill, the Florida transfer, was coming on a blitz from the secondary, but Reed got away.
And he'll pick
And a
up the
pretty good
first down
game.
and scramble.
All right, that's where the debate begins in these type of situations is would the defense have tackled him there? I bet he's arguing in favor that he would have had him sacked, but I'm going to argue in favor of Marcel Reed with that athleticism.
Sounds like a quarterback to me.
Shocker.
Well, they're fighting a losing battle here, trailing by 2 touchdowns with only 2 minutes left.
Oh, yes. I'm definitely not drenched. That's it?
Reed in the shotgun. He sends Noah Thomas in motion and hands it to Denota. Stacked up right there in the middle. And that's another tackle from Scooby Williams.
Boy,
for the
he was-
white team,
and he was
Williams and
hammered.
Stewart, they have been so active.
Scooby Williams took that one head on, and it didn't go anywhere. Man.
Scooby Williams,
Nice play.
junior transfer from Florida for the Gators last year, 53 tackles, 4 of them for lost yardage.
He's got a lot of familiarity, too, with what the defensive coordinator Jay Bateman's asking him to do. So you have to expect him to be playing, if not starting, alongside Torian York.
And Jay Bateman comes over from Florida.
Now you got to figure that's one of the reasons that we were able to get him here is because of Jay Bateman.
Denota's got a gainer. All the way down to the 40-yard line in white territory. Maroon going to salt this one away with a minute left and a 24-10 lead.
And there will be in no hurry.
This will send the Aggies into the offseason.
Yeah, Mike just took off his headset, so he's happy.
So now, fellas, it's a long wait till August 31st when the Notre Dame Fighting Irish step into Kyle Field.
It will be rocking.
When you talk to these A&M players, they all tell you the same thing. They can't wait for Kyle Field to be rocking, and then they all say, hopefully at night. This is what everybody wants.
Everybody's hoping for at night, yep. If not, we're staring down the barrel of 115 degrees. But a lot of excitement around Mike Elko and the direction he has this program trending.
All right, fellas, that will